Oh yes, it is Nick Shell. We're going to talk more about hair loss, more from a psychological perspective. We are in the aftermath of apparently a series of tornadoes or something that happened this morning. So if I point out falling trees and branches and seem, you know, fascinated by it, then that's what it's all about. Because I drove through this tornado just praying, God, please let everybody be okay, kind of thing. So I mean, I'm seeing aftermath even as I'm just on this trail today. But I use the word fascination already in this video. Is that really what happened? Did that, am I seeing that? So apparently this branch like just got, it fell out of the tornado and lodged in there pretty deep. Wow, look at that. That's, that, I guess the tornado did that, man. That's real. Okay, as you can see, I don't rehearse or edit my videos. I want to talk to you about what I see as kind of a gradient as when it comes to hair loss. And one of my videos last week kind of inspired this one today. I wrote it down just so I could get it right. The way I see it, here's how I view kind of what motivates to bring us here to my channel, for me to make the videos and for you to watch them. I'm going to call this evolution fascination, obsession, or worry. Fascination, obsession, or worry. Which of those do you fall into? Which category applies most to you? And now let's start out with the one that I feel that I most relate to and that I feel is healthy and safe and just fine. Because after all, having a receding hairline is fascinating, for lack of a better word. It's fascinating because it doesn't affect everybody, only certain men. And depending on your ethnic background, maybe most of people you know. But it is fascinating, and I am fascinated by receding hairlines. There's so much psychology involved. There's so much to talk about. We've got the receding hairline radar that we talked about, where those of us who have one know what it's like to kind of look at other guys, and not in a judgmental way, but just kind of say, you know, where does he fall on the Norwood, which, as I officially learned this morning, I'm Norwood 3, and I need to make an official video about that to help other people know where they're at on that scale. I believe I'm fascinated by receding hairline. It's a fascinating subject. It doesn't surface in real life as far as people aren't really talking about it. They don't realize how many men are psychologically affected by the by hair loss and receding hairlines. So I think it's nothing, no shame in being fascinated. No shame in making videos. No shame in you watching them daily. That's just a fascination. This is my segue. It's just like sports. Because think about this. My theory is that men, women maybe for all I know, but especially men are more wired to be obsessive about stuff. The easiest point I can make is I can say one word, and it was the album of a Huey Lewis album: sports. Sports. Men are obsessed with sports. They are. They can tell you who played who and which bowl and what the point was. They can give you all the stats of the players and all of this stuff for both college and for pro, for more than one sport. You know, that's obsessive. It's completely fruitless. It doesn't help you. It doesn't make you money. It's just a pointless habit is all it is. A pointless hobby is what I'm trying to say. Now for me, I'm not into sports, so when I see all the other guys knowing all this sports trivia, I'm thinking, who cares? What is that? How does that help anybody to know that? It's just a way to have something to talk about and have something to do. That's just what I think. I'm just looking at all the damage from the tornado. There's a tree that, yes, so this tree right here, for all these years has been a tree that has been a swing that people would, I guess, swing over the creek there. But now that is split from the tornado. So yeah, I'm presenting to you that men are obsessed with sports, and for men like me who don't care about sports but are still active people, got to be obsessed about something. So I'm obsessed with knowing the ethnicities of actors and people in general, with knowing their heights, and then the one that actually resonates on YouTube with my audience, hair loss. It's is it obsessive? Okay, I'm even okay with that. I'm okay with not only being fascinated, I'm okay with being obsessed with hair loss. Now, this is, you can fall either way on this one, and I believe that I fall on the healthy side of obsession with hair loss. I mean, I've said it before, I make 3 videos a day about hair loss. I could easily make more if I wouldn't run off people from continue to subscribe to my channel. So I limit it to only 3 a day, but if it were up to me, I'd want to do like 5 easily. I'd never have stuff to talk about. But is it obsessive for me to make these videos? Absolutely yes. Is it obsessive for you to watch them? Absolutely yes. And there's no shame in that, as long as it's on the healthy side of obsession. Now, well, what's the unhealthy side of obsession? Here's what I'm going to present to you. The side that falls more on our third category, which is worry. So we've got fascination, perfectly healthy, obsession, which is relatively healthy and normal, but then worry is where it gets bad. I made that video last weekend about the worry seed from Bulbasaur on Pokemon. There's people who show up on my channel basically trying to give me a guilt trip because I've got too much hair at 35, and they want me to, see, it's like they project this anger towards me for having the audacity to make hair loss videos when I still have as much hair as I do, being a Norwood 3. And it's almost like they're making these videos, they'll comment and basically, reading between the lines, they're basically saying, you need to stop making videos about hair loss. And then I'll have other people who will say, you're obsessed. But I think it's really a reflection of where they're at as they're handling it themselves. To me, that's worry. Do I worry about my hair loss? No. Am I even frustrated? No, I've already accepted it. So for me, as I analyze and talk about hair loss way too much, which is obsession and fascination, I'm simply matter-of-factly talking about stuff. Now, can you honestly think back to a video I've done where I'm like, it's just so frustrating. Because, like, why do I have to lose my hair, man? It's not fair. Have I ever done that? Have you ever seen me make a video like that? To me, that's worry. That's where you let the worry set in, you let the anxiety set in, you let the fear set in, you let maybe even the isolation set in, you let that limit your life in some way. My hair loss is not limiting me at all in my life. Could I let it? Sure I could, but I don't. And I think no matter where you are in the hair loss, while it's challenging for other people who have lost more hair than I have at a younger age, still though, you can make a decision to let it limit you or not, is what you can do. So I think what I want to suggest, for you to do in the closing of this video, I want to suggest that you place yourself somewhere on that gradient, on that scale. Are you fascinated with hair loss like I am? Yeah. Are you obsessed with the concept of hair loss? Yeah, maybe you are, that's fine. But the problem is when we cross over to the dark side and we're on the worrisome side of obsession. When we're truly worried and letting our hair loss limit us inwardly, which therefore will absolutely limit us outwardly. I believe that if you're watching my videos, you fall in one of those categories, if not a little bit of both. I feel for me it's definitely more on the, and yeah, because I mean I could see how a person could be fascinated but not obsessed, and I could see how you could be obsessed but not worried. You know, I think, but I definitely see it as a gradient, and that's where I see myself. I see myself in between fascination and obsession, but I definitely don't see myself in between obsession and worry. So tell me your thoughts on my theory that I've created today on this. I see no shame in fascination or healthy obsession about hair loss. It's good, it's therapeutic. As I do these stream of consciousness videos, it's healthy and good for us to think and say and hear these things out loud. That's not a bad thing. The bad thing is when you let it start worrying you and thinking that your life is limited because of it. That is my theory. Let me know what you think below. I was gonna do the thing where I was gonna go like try to pinch him, but I decided not to.